Okay, good stuff from John. Let's take a deeper dive into the jobs market data, and I'm joined by Daniil Manaehkov, the head of U.S. forecasting at the Research Seminar in Quantitative Economics at the University of Michigan. Daniil, thanks so much for joining us. Lot to put in perspective, I'm sure. So what effect has inflation had on the seasonal hiring? We heard Nathan in our first story say, basically going against the odds or the history, that retail hiring is actually down this time of year, which seems rare.
Well, I mean, prices reduce purchasing power, and that sort of superimposes itself on another trend that they've been observing for the past year. That is, we've been consuming too many goods over the pandemic, and we've been gradually coming down. So basically, add 2 plus 2 together, people buying just fewer goods because they are, going out more,
sure,
and because their purchasing power is down. So that basically combines, and we are currently looking at the retail hiring season is more like 2009, which wasn't a good year to be in retail.
So how are businesses adjusting, preparing, just dealing with all this right now? So much going on, inflation, uncertainty about the future, the supply chains now, are they coming around? Are they still going to haunt us moving into spring?
Lots of good questions at once. So, I mean, you have to sort of disentangle two things. So seasonally, there's still a lot of hiring happening. So it's retail sector is basically going to hire like half a million people at least, and probably more than that. And they're still going to struggle because the labor market is pretty tight. So they will have to jump through lots of hoops, try to attract workers with quicker offers, try to get them in the door quicker. There's still plenty of competition, but because the overall economy, if you compare it to previous years or try to look at like seasonally adjusted data that smooths through seasonal variations, it's not going to look as strong. But by itself, it's still a huge hiring season. So businesses will have to fight for workers because we are in a very tight market. So it's sort of like a puzzle.
That said, what about the tech sector, which is obviously taking a beating with very high-profile layoffs, and just about everyone you can go down the list and name? How significant is that going to be to the economy, considering those are pretty well-paying jobs?
So tech has been struggling for maybe a year now. They were in hiring freeze. A lot of them were in hiring freeze before that. And I mean, we've seen reports in the news, but the latest, newest unemployment claims increased, but barely. So we are up to like 240,000 from maybe 210. And that's still a pretty low number. So they make the headlines, but if you look at the overall picture, say information technology jobs in the jobs report, it's not doing great, but it's not cratering. So it's important sector, but it's not dragging the economy down because, I mean, there may be high-profile layoffs in large firms, but a lot of smaller ones are picking up everybody who's been laid off.
So what sectors are going to be hiring the most, and what can this do to the economy? Because obviously with inflation and worrying about overheating and pumping up interest rates, I mean, it's been a rough few months for a lot of people.
Right. So I think we're still in the transition phase from the pandemic. So the service jobs are still way below pre-pandemic peak. If you look at leisure and hospitality, there's still a significant shortfall in employment compared to like December 2019. So I think that sector will be hiring or will be trying to hire. And they'll probably struggle to attract people at least during the holiday season. But after the holiday season, when all the retailers and all the UPSs and FedExes lay off for seasonal workers, they'll probably get picked up for the service sector.
Well, Daniil, what are the overlooked sectors?
It's hard to say. One sector that worries me at the moment is construction, because we all know what is happening in the residential construction, in the housing market for single-family homes. Prices are down, people are not buying, but employment in construction is still holding up. And I'm basically bracing for some layoffs to start happening there maybe by spring 2023.
Wow, that could be very devastating looking down the road, because that could have ripple effects all over. Now, 2022 was known for the Great Resignation. What are your expectations for 2023?
So the market was very, very tight during 2022, and we expect things to sort of calm down, maybe if not slow down outright, but a calmer market with more balance tilted toward employers. We're probably not going to see as many resignation. We're already seeing a decline in the rate at which people are quitting their jobs voluntarily. We'll probably gradually see the decline in the ratio of job openings to the number of unemployed. So basically, I think we'll see a normalization on many metrics, but remember that labor market is not like national. So I mean, there are sectoral imbalances, there are regional imbalances, so it's not going to be the same for everybody.
Great. Well, Daniil Manaehkov, have a great weekend. We certainly appreciate your insight, the head of U.S. forecasting at the research seminar in quantitative economics at the University of Michigan. Go Big Blue. Thank you.